Do you still get hyped for games? I struggle with that. I want to say the last time I got super excited for a game was Kingdom Hearts 2. Why, yes, that was 2005. I was 11. The spark in my eyes hadn't faded quite yet. Look, the quality of games has never been higher. The graphics, the tech, the smoothness, the frame rate, the cinematography, the story building, the world rendering, the protagonist humanity, the quantity of content, all that shit is top shelf right now. And yet when games are slated to come out, even ones I'm confident in, I just don't have the hype in me for video games anymore. When Insomniac's Spider-Man was first announced, I was like, that's gonna be Game of the Year. I was sure there was no way Insomniac could mess up a Spider-Man game. There was no conceivable way it could end up being bad. And I was right. They delivered. It's precisely what it was meant to be, what I always thought it would be. But in the days leading up to release, my shoulders would just shrug at the thought, like, yeah, it's gonna be great, but it doesn't raise my blood pressure. And that's when I realized I was suffering from depression. Just kidding. I feel perfectly fine. My life is in order, I have the world's greatest girlfriend, and I get to exfoliate all my thoughts on the internet. All that could be improved is my level of fame and money, but I know I'm playing the long game. I honestly think I'm too lazy to indulge good emotions. Like, it takes energy to be hyped, and I'm unwilling to expend it that way. Excitement in general isn't something that finds me often. I wondered at some points if maybe I was outgrowing my interest in video games in general, but that is blasphemous, although I still have tons just sitting on the back burner unfinished and never to be completed. Motivation is hard. I get so bored it's impenetrable. Oh hey, while I was typing this, they went and revealed the PlayStation Classic, which is like the NES Classic Nintendo did, but it's Sony and PlayStation. A smaller version of the original PlayStation console comes preloaded with 20 digital versions of classic games, like Final Fantasy VII, Tekken 3, Jumping Flash, Ridge Racer Type 4, other unannounced titles. They probably can't do Crash and Spyro, or wouldn't, what with the remakes either behind or beyond the horizon. I'm hoping Gex is on there. Blasto would be terrific. Don't know why I'm saying this, I ain't getting it. Just not something I need any of it all. Here's a list of all the games I've either already pre-ordered or will pre-order when they get closer to launch. Red Dead Redemption 2, Fallout 76, Black Ops 4, Spyro Reignited Trilogy, Hollow Knight for PS4, which comes out in like 3 days and I'm doing a new playthrough, Soul Calibur 6, Kingdom Hearts 3 obviously, Sekiro Shadows Die Twice is up for pre-order now, comes out in March, I'll be getting that shit. Trials Rising, the new Trials motorcycle game from Ubisoft, doesn't have a release date, but it looks like a return to form and hopefully way better than Trials Fusion was. I'll be getting it. On the Nintendo side of things, Super Mario Party is going to be fucking lit AF. Pokemon Let's Go Eevee looks good to me. Different. We'll see what changes are good and what aren't, but overall I think I'll enjoy it. And Super Smash Bros. Ultimate is a no-brainer that will probably see a healthy amount of screen time on my channel. Let's Go Eevee will likely be streamed, like my other Pokemon streams, if the mechanics work out. Now here's a list of games I won't be getting, probably, unless Acclaim or Circumstance changes my mind. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. We're heavy into franchise fatigue here. A couple years ago, people used to use Assassin's Creed as the antithesis for the arguments against still buying Call of Duty every year, since back then most people were still hyped on AC, even though the parallels were obvious. But now it seems like more and more people are falling off that train as it continues to recklessly veer off the tracks and hurtle toward imminent disaster, which isn't to say Odyssey won't be good, but at this point to me, even the best Assassin's Creed game is still just an Assassin's Creed game. I loved Assassin's Creed 2, Brotherhood, and to a slightly lesser extent, Revelations. I barely played 3, never played Black Flag, couldn't get into Syndicate, probably won't play Odyssey. There's my history of the franchise. It's like Far Cry, it just needs to stop now. Most of Ubisoft's franchises need to stop now. Which Assassin's Creed game was it that had the hook blade in it? Like, was that Revelations or Brotherhood? I'm pretty sure it was one of those. And like the dude was explaining it in his thick Italian accent, so he was like, "This is a hook blade," and then your guy's like, "A hook blade," and he's like, "What's a hook blade?" It's like, "The hook blade has two parts, the hook and the blade." Cue Nicolas Cage face. You don't say! I will not be getting Anthem because I don't know what the fuck it is even after watching it. The only thing I can glean from its E3 presentation is that it seems like the kind of game that will close the studio that made it. It strikes me as a killer. BioWare, right? Yeah, they're done after this. I'm not getting Battlefield 5 because that series doesn't even know what it is anymore, and I wasn't a fan to begin with. I like arcade shooters like Call of Duty and Doom and Destiny gunplay-wise, but not anything else-wise. Smooth shit. Realism doesn't sell me, snappy controls sells me. I still think the Doom remake is the best FPS of all time, fight me. I will not be getting The Division 2. I can't even fathom what they could do with that franchise to make it interesting or worthwhile. I played the first one with a friend and just none of it clicked. You had dudes with crowbars rushing you in the open while you trained your light machine gun on their armored hoodies. Higher level dudes took entire clips of headshots to kill when they weren't even wearing any fucking armor. The RPG system didn't work at all with that, and I just don't believe that even if The Division 2 fixes its problems, it can create fun out of the game itself. Any other game up for pre-order that I didn't mention is either something I don't care about or isn't on my radar. Well, that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, you can like, share, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter at SunburnedAlbino. Support my Patreon at patreon.com/SunburnedAlbino. And if you have news tips or something you want me to comment on, put them in the comments, and I might. Ideas are running slow. I'll see you guys next time.